What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Riga YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to be doing a reading for all my Capricorn Sun sign friends. If you were born between the dates of December 22nd and January 19th, then you are a Capricorn Sun sign, and this reading is for you. Today we're going to be doing a look at the month ahead for the month of July for all my Capricorn friends, and this spread is going to tell us about the past, the present, and the future energies you're carrying with you, as well as what you should hold on to and let go of in the month of July, as well as what obstacles and lessons are going to be put before you in the next month. So it's going to be a fun, eye-opening spread, I hope. Today we're going to be using the Super 8-Bit Tarot. This is a fun video game themed deck like from the 80s. If you want to learn more about it, you can head on over to the link in the card, and I did a video on the deck review for this, and yes, it's a fun deck. It's a light-hearted deck, but it still packs a punch. So if you would, please give me a moment to center myself and ask the tarot cards a question. What do Capricorn Sun signs have to look forward to in the month of July? That ought to do it. We will cut the deck and deal them out. Wow, interesting. Okay, and while we're at it, we'll go towards the Nature's Whispers Oracle, and we'll ask this Oracle deck what message it has for Capricorn Sun signs in the month of July. Alright, and we will look at that at the end. Alright, let's see what we have here. We got some Major Arcana and a bunch of court cards. Wow, this is interesting. Very interesting. So let's look at these cards individually, and then we'll go and look at them as a whole. The first card we're going to look at is this card here, and this represents the energies of last month, the energies of June, and we've got the Two of Cups. Okay, Capricorn friends, I'm getting the feeling here that June was a month for new relationships and maybe strengthening old relationships, but I'm getting the stronger sense that maybe you found a new friendship, maybe you found a new love interest, or maybe you really strengthened a newer friendship and you allowed it to grow. Maybe you spent a lot of time with friends. I'm getting the sense of just a connection with others from this card, and generally that is what the Two of Cups means. So I'm getting the feeling that, the month of June was the time for you to kind of celebrate a little bit, and not just celebrate, in the sense of going out and partying, but really being happy emotionally and starting new things emotionally. So yeah, I'm getting the sense of a very happy time in June for a lot of you Capricorn friends. Remember, this is a general overall reading. I want to stress that point, and not everything's going to apply to you, so take what makes sense and leave the rest. But yes, June seemed like a great time for Capricorns, and hopefully you can keep that energy up, because you never know where these friendships are going to take you. Even ones that seem innocuous, even ones that seem like they're not really headed anywhere, can be beneficial in many different ways, and in ways you're not expecting, so that's great. This card here represents the energy of right now, and Capricorn friends, we have the Hierophant. Generally, this card is about spirituality and or religion, but I'm not quite getting the sense of spirituality from it. I'm getting the feeling of regulations and stipulations and restrictions is kind of what I'm getting, and you having to follow those things. So maybe this has to do with work, maybe it has to do with self-imposed limitations, but I'm getting the feeling that a lot of you kind of feel stifled right now, kind of kept in a box, so to speak, and there's some rules and regulations that you're being asked to follow that you might not necessarily agree with or even want to follow, but you kind of have to. is kind of the sense I'm getting. So my mind immediately goes to work issues, because generally in today's society, that's how we feel those things. But maybe this could be with religion, could be with school if you're in school, or it could be with parents if you're younger. Or even if you're older, sometimes parents never relent with their restrictions, It's different for everybody, of course. So, yeah, I'm getting the feeling of restriction right now. And this is not something that's like, destroying your your sense of self, but it's something that you're having to put up with, is the feeling I'm getting from this card. Interesting. So that's the energies of now. Now let's move into the energies of next month. The month of July, we've got the Fool. And I get the feeling that something new is on the horizon in July, my friends. You guys are going to be setting out on an adventure that you're not really sure where it's going to head, but it's time to make that first step. So July seems like it's going to bring in some new energy. You're going to kind of lift that stifling, so basically the opposite of the feeling of this card. Maybe you felt so stifled, or you're feeling so stifled right now that in the month of July you're more willing or more desirous of taking a leap of faith into something unknown and starting something new and moving away from this Hierophant energy. So yeah, I'm getting a great feeling here for July that this is a very positive card. I'm feeling that you're about to embark on something new, and this could be different things. This is a general reading, so it's going to apply to people differently. So it could be a new job, a new vacation, a new hobby, a new person that you allow into your life. Anything that's new that you're not really sure of the outcome at the start of it, but it's time to take that first leap of faith. And yeah, July's going to bring some new energies, the sense I'm getting from this. So that's a great omen. That's a great card. Interesting progression here from friendship to regulations to new adventures. Very, very, very interesting. Okay, so this next card here represents the energies that you should keep for the month of July, energies that you should hold on to. What to hold on to is the Page of Wands. And speaking of the Fool, I see these cards as very similar. To me, the Page of Wands is someone who is willing to take risks, someone who's willing to jump off the deep end, someone who's willing to go on adventure. And that's what you should hold on to this month. And I think that, these cards are facing each other. I think they're responding to each other. So this card is saying, when that new opportunity comes this month, and I don't know which form it's going to come for you, but whichever way it comes, this card is asking you to be willing to take that leap of faith, be willing to have that adventure. Don't just say, oh, that's a scary route, I don't want to take the risk. This card is saying, take that risk, follow that adventure, go down the rabbit hole wherever it may lead you. Is that a rabbit? Go down that rabbit hole wherever it may lead you, because it's going to bring some new opportunities and new adventures your way. So this card is saying, be open to adventure, be open to experiencing new things, trying new things, and going your own route, rather than sticking with the Hierophant who's going to tell you what to do, right? Go your own route and blaze your own path. The July is going to be time for blazing your own trails out there, Capricorn friends, okay? Alright, so we'll move on to this card here. Oh my goodness, this card represents hurdles that you're likely to face in the month of July. We've got the Emperor. Man, these cards are just talking to each other here. These cards, they're just talking to each other, because the Emperor is saying that your biggest hurdle this month is going to be following the rules. I'm getting the feeling that there's going to be some for most of you, this is probably a boss. For most of you, he's going to be very dominating. It's going to be very imposing his will. Rules and regulations is what I think of when I think of the Emperor, much like the way I read the Hierophant here. So I'm getting the feeling that that's going to be a challenge for you. Maybe you're starting to feel the desire to blaze your own trail, to go off in your own way, but you still, under the influence or under the command of someone of a higher power who's telling you what to do. Some authority figure. This could be police, this could be a boss, like I said, your principal. I don't know, whatever it is, whoever makes orders and makes sure you follow them. This is going to be it's going to be an issue for you in the month of July. You're not going to want to follow. Is the feeling I'm getting, and you want to go off and start a new adventure, and then you got this guy breathing down your neck saying, no, this is the way it should be done, not the way you want to do it. And that's obviously not in alignment with what you want to be doing this month. So yeah, that's going to be an issue for you in July. So make sure that you are rebelling against authority, but not to the point where it's going to cause damage to you. Okay? And over here, we're going to come over here. This is what to let go of for the month of July. We've got the Queen of Cups. Okay. I'm getting a story from this, okay? The Queen of Cups here is saying that you don't need to please everybody, okay? I know you want to do, the people in your life have supported you and they've helped you and they've got you to where you are. But this card is saying you need to let go of the desire to do everything for other people and follow these rules just because he gave you a job, right? Just because your boss gave you a job, you feel like, oh, I should do whatever he asks me because he's giving me a great opportunity. But there comes a point where you have to protect your energy and you can't bend over backwards for other people, even if you're getting paid money, and because your energy is the most important thing in this world, in your life, and you can't give it up. You can't compromise who you are and what you want to do and who you want to be just because of someone else. And there's no amount of money in the world that could influence you to change who you are. I mean, people do allow that, and it always turns out badly. So this card is saying be authentic. Yes, you want to help other people. Yes, you want to be there for others and you want to do for others, but this card is saying that in the month of July, maybe it's time to focus more on you. It's time to focus on what your dreams are rather than the dreams of other people. I'm getting a very strong sense from this reading that Capricorn friends, you're feeling a strong influence from the outside world, especially in the month of July. You will, and it's not allowing you to be who you truly want to be. And this card is saying break out from that. It doesn't mean you don't love those people. It doesn't mean you're not going to help them in any way you can. But it's saying that don't break your back in order to be someone else for them. Be someone who you are not for them, okay? Alright, this card here represents the energy of the people around you. Now remember, this is the energy of all the people around you as a whole. Individuals in your life are not going to follow these guidelines, but as a whole, the people in your life are going to have the King of Swords energy. And when I think of the King of Swords, I think of wisdom, logical wisdom, not emotional wisdom, not intuitive wisdom, but logical wisdom. So I'm feeling that your friends are going to have the logical answers for you, and they're not going to have the answers that come from the heart. They're not going to have answers that come from intuition. They're going to have the answers that come from the mind, and they're going to be able to communicate with you what you logically should be or shouldn't be doing. So take that as you will. I think take that as what it is. Don't put too much investment into the guidance of your friends and family and loved ones, but do listen to them, because logically I think they're going to be giving you sound advice. But whenever you want to make a decision, you should make it a well-rounded decision, using all your faculties, using your heart, using your intuition, using your resources, as well as your ego mind, the logic mind. So yeah, they're going to be there for you, but only in a certain way, in a certain specific way. So take that as you will, and use the advice and information that they're giving you in a mature way. Don't just listen to them as they're the ultimate authority, okay? Alright, this last card here represents the biggest lesson you're likely to learn in the month of July, and we have another court card. Aha! This card is telling me, Capricorn friends, that in the month of July, your lesson is that it's time to follow your heart, time to follow your emotions. Like I said, I'm getting the feeling of just an overbearing outside influence, outside force that wants to enact its dominance over you. It wants to impose its will over what you are and what you're doing. And this card is saying it's time to put in action. You're going to learn that this month, following your heart, following your emotions is the most important thing. Not following the logic of others, but following your own heart space. And that's a lesson that you may have to learn the hard way. Who knows how it's going to all shake down, but I think you could probably stand to follow your heart a little bit more, listen to your emotions a little bit more, and let them be your guidance rather than letting the minds of others guide you. Like I said, this is a general reading. I don't know if it applies to all of you, but that's the feeling I'm getting for Capricorn. So now that we've seen all the cards together, let's see what they're saying as a whole. June was a great month. I get the feeling that you made some connections. You probably networked a little bit, whether this was through friendships or through business. I get the feeling of networking and starting new what do you call those? New connections. I don't know, the nodules. What is it when, like, synapse? I don't know. I'm trying to say something I don't know about. Okay, whatever. But you made some new connections in the month of June, and met some people who might prove to be beneficial allies in the coming months and years. So that's great. June was a great time, but now we're moving into a time of where you're just feeling dictated towards, like right now. And most of you is probably through your job, and people are just telling you what to do, what to think, how to act, how to behave. And I think you're probably getting a little bit fed up with it. As we can see in July, I think you're going to start to feel like you want to break out of that a little bit more, like you want to start your own journey, you want to do your own thing, whether this means starting a new business or starting a new hobby or starting something new that's going to take you away from that energy of just being so commanded and stifled. So yes, July is going to bring some new energy, but you're going to have to do it as expressed here by the Page of Wands. You're going to have to have the mentality of it's time for adventure. In order for that adventure to find you, you have to be ready for it. You have to be willing to take that plunge. You have to be willing to go off into the dark side or the deep end or whatever metaphor works for you. In order to experience that adventure, you have to be willing to do it. Now the struggle is going to be that same person who is dictating to you, or a group of people who's dictating to you. They're going to be, I think they're probably going to sense you starting to pull away, so they're going to go in harder. They're going to try to impose more restrictions on you and impose their will in stronger ways as they feel you slipping away. But that's going to be an issue for you, and I think it's going to come down harder than ever this month, or harder than it has recently, as far as being told what to do and being kind of restricted, feeling restricted. So what you need to let go of is the willingness or the desire or the hope that you can please everybody, that you're gonna just do the right thing for others because your feelings don't matter as much. No, but that's not true. It's the other way around. Your feelings are the most important aspect of this whole situation, and the feelings of others come as a secondary, especially if they're the type to be dominating over you. So you don't need that. You don't want that. Get rid of that. Do for you and do for you alone, because that's the most important thing in this world. It's not being selfish. You can't help other people if you're not, healed yourself, okay? The people around you are going to have a very logical approach to things. They're going to, see the situation from a logistical vantage point, from a logical vantage point. They're not going to be thinking with their heart or their intuition. They're going to be telling you, oh, this, and this equals this, and this. And that's great, but take it for what it is, and realize that that's only one aspect of any decision-making process. So they will be helpful to you in some ways, but keep in mind which way that is, so that you don't fully trust these people to help you make decisions, okay? And of course, the lesson you're going to learn is to follow your heart, follow your emotions, do what you want to do from a place of emotional fulfillment, because that's the only way to be happy. That's the only way to help other people. If you're vibrating at a level of pure love, then you can help people. But you can't do that unless you follow your emotions, unless you're guided by them. And what this means in the real world is that, if there's something that you love to do, why are you not doing that? Why are you doing this? Why are you at work doing something you hate to do when there's something else that you love to do? And it's going to bring you fulfillment if you follow your heart. It will. Okay, before we go, let's take a look at the message that the Nature's Whispers Oracle had for us. This is the message for the month of July for all my Capricorn friends, and it is... be spontaneous. Look at this. We got the Fool here. We got the Page of Wands here. Be spontaneous. It's time for adventure in the month of July. You felt so restricted, so rigid, and all the things that you're capable of doing so far. But in the month of July is going to be your opportunity to jump out of that and just spread your wings and fly. And this card is saying, be spontaneous. You don't need to follow that path that's set out for you. Now's the time in the month of July to just spread your wings, jump off that ledge, and see where it takes you, right? See where that ledge goes. You'll experience some new things if you are willing to take on that energy. So in the month of July, my friends, my Capricorn friends, it's time for you to break out of the mold, and you're gonna have to be spontaneous. You're gonna have to be adventurous. You're gonna have to be willing to plunge into the deep end. And I guarantee you that nothing but happy things await you if you are able to do that, okay? So that's going to be the reading for this month. I hope you guys got something out of it. Remember, if you want a reading tailored just for you, where I tap into your specific energies, head on over to my Etsy shop. The link is in the card and the description. And we can do a number of spreads, including this one. If you want me to tap into your energy for this specific spread, you can go do that. So I hope you go check that out over there. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like. It lets me know that I'm doing something right. website. If you want to say something about this video, then please leave a comment in the comment section. Any questions, comments, anything you want to say about it, I'm happy to read those and interact with you there. And please consider subscribing if you really enjoyed this video, because I release them pretty regularly. Okay, guys, I want to thank you for watching. I appreciate so much you coming here and listening to this, and I hope you got something out of it. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Happy taroting. Peace.